All right, we're about 20 now, which is fair. Right, so today basically we'll be looking at installation, and we in the first orientation class we gave a list of things we are supposed to work with, and the basic idea is these are things some people can install on their own, but not to look down on anybody. There are some few people that will not be able to follow through the installation on their own. So I'm here to actually give more explanation, details, and guidance on that. Okay, so same rules apply. All mics should be muted. Then feel free to drop whatever questions or anything at the chat box. And then you can also use the raise your hand option at any point in time if you have questions. And I recommend you have a note. As a matter of fact, in this particular class, we are going to talk about some things that might be new to some of you, because I don't just want you to install things. When you want to install something, you just download the executable, the binary, or like if it's on Linux, you just copy the command of probably ChatGPT or the documentation. But so many times understanding what you're installing, why you're installing it, goes a long way in knowing what to fix if something breaks. So these are things that I would just like give you a background understanding on. All right, once again, all slides, codes, materials will be shared. Feel free to use but no, do not modify. Use share, but it's fine. It's not like closed in the group. Give it to whoever. Okay, so the tools that we are basically working with in the workshop is ROS2, Gazebo, and RViz. ROS2 is I spoke about it briefly in the last class, but the example I gave in the last class, so we have this robot and we have to write everything from scratch. ROS2 basically just puts things in components called nodes for us. We'll see how that happens as we actually go into details. Gazebo is like a simulator. Gazebo is not like a simulator, it's a simulator. So what I mean by simulator is I want a robot that would be able to, again, drive from point A to point B, since that's what's very common. There are other things the robot can do. Let's say you want a robot arm that can pick your mouse up and probably move it to another location, or a robot that does assembly, whatever the case is. Simulation just allows you to do that in a software where you can't break anything, and like you try different parameters and see how it turns out. Now RViz is a bit different. RViz it's more or less like a simulator, but what to call it is it's a visualization tool. RViz allows you to see things. You have like, you can bring a map in RViz, you can bring an environment, you can move things around, you can see how how the parts of the robot connect together. It's just for visualization. Along the line, I will tell you, for those of you that did CAD, when they say you have a product in mind or a robot in mind, you you think of it as the physical robot, right? Now, if we are to model that robot in simulation, what we do is we need to look for a way to tell the program that this is the physical robot, but it's in the simulation. That is called robot modeling. We'll talk about that in coming weeks, where we do things like URDF. All this is for Gazebo and the rest. Now, the programming languages, yes, we said we would deal with Python, Python 3.x, because almost any version of Python 3 is good to go, but we're not using Python 2. I mean, Python 2.7 is like 2000 and when, like how many years ago? C++ and then Rust is just optional, but if you wish to follow along, it's fine. We have like 8 weeks, so much can happen. Development tools, Git and GitHub, compulsory. VS Code, optional. You can use whatever, but VS Code it's like the best because it integrates a lot of things and has Rust support too. Now, for extras, there's Docker and there's OpenCV. This OpenCV is it's just like, I mean, there's OpenCV for Python, there's OpenCV for C++, but OpenCV is for computer vision. For those of you that have not heard of or don't know what computer vision is, it's like being able to make your robot see like a human being. It can identify colors, it can identify objects and all of that. That's computer vision, and that's what OpenCV is used for. So OpenCV, most people know that OpenCV is for Python, but they still have OpenCV for C++ and other programming languages. Can you hear me clearly? Someone complained that the audio is not good. Okay, so probably you should check your side. All right, back to what we were saying. So Docker, what Docker is okay, I'll explain Docker because we would have a slide that would demand me to explain Docker. Good. So the problem is you are using Windows, the next person is using Mac, another person is using Linux. And these are a lot of different architectures. I want to believe everybody here knows what an operating system is. If you don't know what an operating system is, then don't feel bad. You can indicate in the group and I'll explain, but no need to explain what an operating system is. Now, this is the way trainings are usually organized. When they tell you there's a robotics training and we want to work on robotics, most training will prefer to prepare an environment for you where you come and your environment is already made for you. Now they use a Docker for it. That's why I said I would explain what Docker is. So this is IEEE. For those that know IEEE, I mean International Electrical Electronics, I mean that body, yeah. RAS, Robotics and Automation Society, and like summer schools are like this short. It could be 1 week, it could be 2 weeks, but you go and like they put like 7 courses together and you learn everything, and then probably do a competition or something. So there was one in Prague where they did everything in a Docker. A Docker is a container. Think of your operating system, whether it's Mac, whether it's Linux, whether it's Windows, think of it as a big bowl. Then think of the softwares, Spotify, YouTube, think of them as cups inside that bowl. So the operating system like manages all these cups, organizes them, and if they need to transfer data between each other, operating system does that. So what we do is Linux works best, robotics works best on Linux, which we'll go into why. So they carry a cup that is supposed to run in the operating system, which is the bowl. They fill the cup with Linux. Remember, Linux is a bowl, but we'll find a way to fill the cup with Linux. That cup now becomes a Docker. A Docker is a portable operating system, something like that. It's best for me to give you like the concept, the idea, and then later we get more technical, you see what is what. So they put this cup in the bowl, meaning you can run Linux in Windows, you can run Linux in Mac and all of that. So this Docker is I can share this Docker around for everybody, and everybody like clones the Docker and good to go. Now, some of them go as far as porting the Docker to a website, right? So you run the Docker and then you go on a website and you have Gazebo, you have RViz, everything is already prepared for you. That is easier and it's faster. But the truth is, you only learn in that, how do I put it? You do not know how to set up environment on your own. Meaning, after that training, you can only rely on their Docker if you do not know how to do things, right? And basically, when I was putting together a training, I said, okay, there's a keyword I like using, which is intricately. Whenever I do something, understand it intricately. Try and know why this is happening, right? So we are going to set up our own environment. We would walk everybody through the whole details. Even if at the end of the whole training, the only thing you learn is how to set up an environment, it literally sets you apart. But then again, it's just your environment. So you have to learn to set up your environment. Let's go to robotics, operating system in robotics. Now we know of ROS, robotic operating system. Please, that is not an operating system. When I say operating systems in robotics, I don't mean ROS. ROS is not an operating system. They just named it like that for whatever reason. Now, why does operating system matter? Linux, Windows, and the rest. I don't know if anybody have heard this joke that 4 gig RAM on Windows, 4 gig RAM on Linux is faster than 16 gig RAM on Windows. Not that it's entirely true. No, I'm not saying that. But it's a sad reality because of something. There's a reason why. The reason why is Windows prioritize grace. When they say grace, I don't mean like, I mean the right word would be aesthetic, something like that. So I don't know if you remember, anybody have had a blue screen on your Windows. So what happens is your Windows crash into a blue screen, it loads and tells you to wait. After like some while, it reloads back, and then your work is with you. Everything is saved, everything is good. That fail-safe mechanism is very, very robust. And doing something like that needs a lot. Someone wants to join. Hold on. Okay. And doing something like that, for Windows to do something like that. Now, I don't want to go deep into operating system architecture, but for Windows to do something like that, takes a lot of resources. You know what it means? Even when you write your programs, when your programs crash, like normal coding you do, you see how catastrophic crashing can be. But somehow it crashes, it knows it has crashed, and it recovers itself. If your Linux machine should crash, it just freezes, and that's all. I see it just freezes. Maybe God helps you, your RAM gets freed up somehow, and then you restart. But it doesn't have that grace. I'm just telling you some key things that Windows just said, okay, let my customers be comfortable, let everything be nice for them. That's why the operating system is like that. Okay, so common OS in robotics is Linux. We'll go into that reason why. For Windows, I started with Windows actually, and after like a couple of weeks, I had to move to Linux because long term, yeah. Then for Mac, I don't even know. I'll be very honest. I tried using Mac at some point in time, but no. I just don't. Mac is a world on its own, right? And I saw like 3-4 people that are using Mac. So we'll come to that. But Mac is usually not the go-to option for robotics. All right, a friendly warning. In robotics, yeah, Linux is king. You just have to appreciate it. It's 100% normal for robotic folks to throw shades at Windows. So nobody should feel bad when I say some things that, oh, Windows is crap. Yeah. So there's a popular thing, like people that work with me, I like saying it's throw your Windows machine out the window. Windows is good, no jokes, but it doesn't get the work done for us. But don't worry, no hard feelings. The truth is you can use whatever. It's just going to stress me. This is the reason why every training use a Docker, because they just put everything in that little cup and share it for everybody. But I want everybody to learn intricately. Like when you live here, you know that okay, yeah, they can stop you and ask you, you know how to like set things up, robotics, okay, yeah, you actually know it from scratch, something like that. So it's a lot to unpack, but you pick up things along the way. All right. Anyways, we joke about everything. Feel free to learn, feel free to laugh. Okay, let's take a little trip to Willow Garage. In 2007, the reason why Linux is, or one of the reasons why Linux is more important or more used in robotics. In 2007, this company is a research company in Silicon Valley. They decided to create a standard for robotics, right? I don't know if people have heard of drivers before. Maybe your Wi-Fi is not working, and then they say it's Wi-Fi is the driver, or your mouse is not operating. Okay, good, great. So the same way on a robot, you say you have a camera, say you have a LiDAR. LiDAR, the last time I mentioned LiDAR, I didn't explain it, but let's talk about a LiDAR briefly. A LiDAR is like it's literally light detection radar. Okay, no, that's not the correct, that's not the full stop. But basically, yeah, the idea is it just shoots out lasers at some point and tries to like map out your environment, something like that. So we have lidars. Lidars is like an eye, but it works by detecting solid objects. So it just reflects off places and you get like a map. So say we have lidar, we have camera, we have motors, we have those are like the basic actuators. Now each of these things, okay, say you have a speaker too for some reasons. Each of all these things would need their own drivers, and not to think of the fact that so many people have different ways of writing the code together. So many people have different ways of bringing. So like robotics was pretty scattered, and then people write it however they want. So what happens now is if this team that wrote the stack for a robot somehow leaves and like a new person has to work on it, he probably have to start trying to understand what happened, trying to start reading what happened. And for the people that work with me, things are very easy. When I say, okay, Prudence writes a Rust node that does this, he writes it, he sends it over. I see it, I know what it does, I know everything. I don't have to start going to browse or start going to look at, okay, what did this particular function do? What does this? I don't know if you understand the idea. Everything is just like unites things together. So that's the standardization we are talking about. A common language. Now, what they did was, the idea is let this thing be open to everybody, meaning we don't have to pay for it, so that more people can adopt it. That's how you make standards. You make it like free. And Windows is paid. You pay for your Windows license every year. And if they had started on Windows, it means anybody that wanted to use Rust on Windows would have to first pay for Rust. So you have to first pay for their Windows machine. So they said, okay, let's start on Linux. So they started on Linux because Linux is free. You can have like different versions of Linux, all free. And so this was how they built it. And before you know it, 2011, they built it like to a very long stage, and considering writing it for another operating system means you would have to, because when you're programming, now you program only one code, maybe Python, C++, and then it can compile on everything. But it's not always like that. Sometimes you need to write particularly to the kernel or to the network stack. these things are based on the operating system. So rewriting it afresh for different operating system was not even an option as of then. It's only recently that Windows and Mac, their developers have started bringing in ROS for Windows and ROS for Mac. So it's not as if there is no ROS for Windows or Mac. There is ROS for Windows, there's ROS for Mac. It's just that it has serious limitations. So if you want to get the best out of all of these, you use Linux. This is just a brief history. There are more technical reasons. And I talked about the open source ecosystem, because everybody started on ROS, everybody started on Linux rather. Everybody built this open source together, collaborated. So now it's widespread, and I mean, Linux just goes. Now, the second thing is real-time and low-level access. This is going to be this has to do with Linux architecture. There's a video of me. There's a video of me on LinkedIn fucking up my kernel. Like I made that post. Linux allows you to mess with your kernel, to modify things. If you want to know what a kernel is like that low level, the connection between your actual hardware and the software stack. Again, I would love to give people, like, maybe after the class, I'll give links on how you can learn some of all these little things, but these are not really robotics. This is computer architecture. So just know that things are faster on Linux. A good example that everybody might be able to relate to is when your task manager freezes, when your Windows freeze. Now your Windows machine is frozen, you quickly open task manager. The idea is you want to kill the frozen app. Sometimes you click on task manager and you click kill, like to kill the frozen stuff, and it doesn't. It tells you not responding, and like you're surprised. Why exactly are you trying to? Task manager's job was to kill or stop the process that was not responding. Now, why is because on Windows does not permit you to directly just access the lower level, or like the kernels, or like the actual hardware. You can, but it's a bit tricky, so it doesn't give you that right. But on Linux, if a process should freeze and you enter the command to kill it, kill -9, it stops it immediately. What it does, it just goes to the memory, the actual process on the hardware, and it deallocates it once. So these are things that if you've used the Linux and you've used the Windows and you have run into this kind of problem, it's because of this real-time and low-level access. So these are things that are needed in robotics. Now, package management, you can only understand this if you've used Linux. If you want to install things for Windows, usually you just download an executable, but there are times where it doesn't. How do I explain this? Okay, just know that for Linux, you have more packages that you can like arrange and things that you can do. We'll go into it as we use ROS. You'll see what I mean by package management. Okay, we'll talk about community and documentation, and then industry adoption. When you have the whole industry using Linux, you just can't go back. Now, this is drones, PX4, audio pilots. Yeah, light detection and ranging. Yeah, that light detection and ranging, that's it. Someone just dropped light detection and ranging in the chat. That's the meaning of LiDAR. At times, you tend to forget even the basic things. Yeah, so light detection and ranging. It uses light to just reflect off different surfaces and create the map. Thank you very much for that. Okay. I thought I heard something. Okay, so PX4, AdroPilot, all these are things that are used for drones. Some people must have heard of it, but all these are Linux based. Major companies, they release their SDKs, their drivers, everything for Linux or Ubuntu. Again, there's Linux and there is Ubuntu. Ubuntu is just a flavor of Linux, right? Technically, Linux is a kernel, but let's not go into that detail. Just know when I say Linux, I mean Ubuntu for this training. There is Kali Linux, popular among hackers. There's Arch Linux for people that are crazy. If you use Arch Linux, you most likely run into a lot of problems because you don't install it. You literally build the operating system if you're trying to install it. So yeah. Okay, so what are the options that we have? Now that we've talked about, from everything, you can see that I do not have plans to give you a container that you would install or that you will just use on the go. I don't have that plans. What I plan to do is to actually sit with you guys and walk you guys through how to do this. You will learn a few things. You will learn that because it worked for A doesn't mean it will work for you. Even if you are literally using the same machine, you will learn how to debug along the way. You also learn how not to control copy and paste from ChatGPT, because when it comes to installing, ChatGPT does not have the history of things on your laptop. Some things are very, very specific, and you might just end up going in a spiral. It works. I mean, it works very well. I'm emphasizing on this because I've seen people try to use I mean, you use ChatGPT, it's fine, but like at least try and read the error you are seeing, try and read the situation you are, and then you try and, even if you want to tell ChatGPT, at least give it some context, right? You don't just completely don't, yeah.
AI. So those are even if you are not and you like it.
Okay, your mic, please. Okay. So yeah. Even if you were to use ChatGPT, you would at least give it some context. Okay, so we'll go into all of those. So yeah, the best thing, but this is if you want to do robotics long term. Somebody here says, oh, he just wants to see if this is what he likes. Don't do this. Don't switch to Linux. Don't dual boot. Switching to Linux means you can either dump Windows or dump Mac and then move to Linux. That's like the go-to fix. My PC runs only Linux, different versions of Linux for Linux. Or you dual boot. Dual boot is you have your Windows and then you have your Linux. It's a bit tricky to do, but it's straightforward actually. It's straightforward to do. And then it's easier on the long run when you are working or learning in robotics. But do not do this if you do not have plans to actually do robotics. You just end up with a Linux, and Linux functions different from Windows, and it's just frustrating. So yeah, that's that on that. Option 2 is to install Ubuntu inside Windows. So there is, I explained the whole bowl and cup scenarios, where the big bowl is the operating system, the smaller cups are the apps or softwares you have. So you can have the big bowl being Windows, and then you can take a cup and like fill it with Ubuntu, like I earlier explained, and then in Windows. So this way, WSL simply means Windows Subsystem for Linux. Yeah, so what we do is it takes Linux. You would open your command prompt on Windows and you run WSL install and then install Ubuntu 22.04. We'll go into this detail later, but this is basically how it works. Now, once you have Ubuntu installed inside inside Windows, it's easier to now read how to install ROS, because you now install ROS and other things that we need. Now, the reason why I'm not talking about Python, C++, Rust is you don't need ROS for that. You can install any laptop can install any of these, right? It's straightforward, it's easy. I would still help out through that, but this is where the main issue is. ROS, Gazebo, RViz, the things that are really robotics oriented. Option 3 is you can install ROS directly on Windows. You can install ROS directly on Windows. You know, option 2, in option 2, we have Windows and then we now install Ubuntu and then I put ROS in it. But you can ditch the Ubuntu parts and just put ROS directly. The problem is that you don't have a lot of support for it. When I mean support, I mean if something goes wrong and you type in Google, you most likely not see the solution. The reason why we see things in Google is because people put things out there. And the reason why we see the answer in ChatGPT is because ChatGPT learns things from Google, from the people that put it. So a friend of mine ran into this spiral. Not even a friend of mine, a client, but it turned into a friend. He was for you guys, I'm saying Gazebo as a simulator. There are other simulators. There's Isaac Simulation Lab. That's like one of the highest simulators that you can use. When they say high fidelity simulators, so it's like the Yoga at the top. Now the problem with Isaac Sim is the amount of people that use Isaac Sim is extremely small. Like extremely small. You literally have to be at GTC in America to attend their workshop to like use Isaac Sim. So you go on YouTube, tutorials are very limited. Their forums are a bit scanty. So he was trying to install Isaac Sim and he was doing so with ChatGPT. And he was in this endless spiral for days before he decided to reach out via Upwork and contract me to install Isaac Sim. And during the process, he was like, it's not possible to install it because it's not on ChatGPT. ChatGPT cannot install it. But like, that's because there is not enough data on Google or wherever ChatGPT gets information from to be able to know how to install it, right? So we had to do what is called the art of reading documentations. The documentation looks like this. The website we are using for the training is a documentation. Let me quickly pull up a documentation. This is also a documentation. If you notice, the website we are using for the training looks like this. It's a lot of things with what to read and how to do what. It doesn't answer your question directly, no, but it demands you to read a lot. So yeah. So there were documentations for installation, and that was how we managed to install Isaac Sim for him. So Mac. So the thing is, Mac depends on what particular OS you are using, right? Because there's this Apple Silicon version that is a pain in the ass. So for Mac users, if you do not have any other option, I think there are like 3 of you guys, then we'd have to schedule like one-on-one where I would have to like tailor things to you, because there is the homebrew option for, I don't know if you've ever used homebrew, yeah. But the fundamental problem of Mac is that RViz and Gazebo, the architecture they use, or like Qt OpenGL, is how they draw the animation on the screen. You know, you are seeing an animation of a robot. So Qt OpenGL is how they show you the animation. So what renders the animation to you is not supported on Mac, right? So it's not as if people don't use Mac. I know someone that used Mac. The first place I saw somebody that used Mac for robotics, I was impressed. So that was where I learned it. So there's one conference like that. So what he normally do? Someone wants to join. Nvidia, yeah, Nvidia. That's I'm assuming that's for Isaac Sim, Nvidia Isaac Sim. Okay, so for those with Mac, we will dig it out together, right? I might resort to the option of using a Docker for you guys. As you can see, Docker is usually what is used, but not everybody needs a Docker, and Docker is slightly advanced. All right, so the idea was 30 minutes introduction, 1 hour for installation. but some people reached out to me that they heard some things. Not like they heard some things on the first class we had where I was talking about LinkedIn and some stuff about putting yourself out there. So that okay, can we do a brief chat about it? So if you are part of the people that said that or reached out to me, you can answer in the chat box whether we should, yes or no, or we should just go straight to installation. No, I'm actually waiting for an answer. We should go straight to installation, or we should talk about the whole LinkedIn thing first. Great. Installation it is. Okay. You guys are on Windows. I think you guys are majority, right? You guys on Windows. Yeah, you guys are majority. So I would be dropping the commands. Yeah. I'll be dropping the command. This is the way we do it. I want to if you do the installation first, would there be another time for the LinkedIn part? Yeah, I mean we can always reschedule it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you raised your hand, Suleiman.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
So I have H2204 dual boot, but like I'm scared that the storage I gave it will not be enough. Is there a way to increase the storage I gave to
How much storage do you give it?
I think 70 gig or something.
How much is free?
I still have a lot of space for my system.
Is it up to 25 gig?
Yes.
Yeah, it will be enough. It will be enough. But your question, yes, there's a way to resize it. You can resize it using Group, that bootloader. There's a bootloader you use during your partition. You can resize it.
Okay.
So
Maybe I will message you
okay.
later. But
So you said you have Ubuntu what, 24?
2204, yes. 22.
Okay, 2204. Okay, so you're going to use Rust Humble. Have you already installed Rust?
Yes, Ross. I think Humble, yes.
Yeah, it's Humble you would install. You install anything else, it will be issue. Okay. You've installed Gazebo and RViz, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, it's basically one command. So you don't have to install Garvix, hyphen, harmonic. Okay, so somebody has dual booted. Probably he would go into robotics. So that's why. This is the way I would do it. If you are not sure, maybe you want to dual boot, you don't want to dual boot, you need time to install, you need time to think about it, or you want one-on-one conversation, or you just feel free to not do anything, right? If you are sure you are proceeding with a dual boot, yeah, somebody has 24.04, meaning you are going to run Jazzy, Rust Jazzy. Okay, that would also work. There are differences between Humble and Jazzy, but it's not so. It's only if you are doing like advanced, like super advanced things. Okay, so today we would focus on the people that are sure they are proceeding with only Windows because they maybe just want to try things out. So this is the flow. I have a Windows PC, a Windows laptop, whichever. I would join the meeting. I'll join the meeting using video is being recorded. Move the call here without interrupting the class. No, I want to join here. Okay, so I'm here on my Windows. I think yeah, that one actually has a better camera. Yeah. Okay, so I will please if we do this, let's hang the system. I want to assume you are not on a 4 gig RAM, so it will not hang the system. Although I would recommend you have like 12 gig free space, 24 gig, 25 gig free space. You notice the first question I asked Sahid was, do you have like up to 25 gig free space? Yeah. So it's not hanging any system and it's not causing any damage. We're going to be as careful as possible. So this is how we'll do it. I would put a command in the chat box. So go to, or not go to, open PowerShell. So that first command is in the chat box. Yes, Suleiman, what's up? I'm Said, your hand is up. You want to say something? Okay, so I will put I'll put the command in the chat box. The first command is open PowerShell, and I will send in the command you have to type, right? Then I would also do it, and I'll put it on the group so that you see what is expected or what is supposed to look like. Then feel free to also screenshot your screen and drop on the group. I can go through it, see if there's any abnormality. If you also notice from my own screen that there's an abnormality on yours, you just indicate, and then from the group I'll know how to address it. Well, you can use command prompt too, but I prefer PowerShell. PowerShell has this, they're basically the same thing, Jerry, but PowerShell just has more advantages. So yeah, someone raised hand. Darlington, yeah, what's up? No, we're not dual booting. The installation is not for dual boots. We are installing option 2, WSL. Let me go back to it so we know what's going on. This is what we are doing today. WSL on Windows. So we're not dual booting. But I assume the people that are dual booting are not that, or the people that want to dual boot are not that much, right? So if you want to dual boot, we're going to have a separate class for that. We'll just fix something and I will walk you through it. Maybe Saka will do that. But for today, we're installing on Windows. Hope there are people here that want to install on Windows now, like straight up on Windows. Yeah. So, okay. Do we have PowerShell opened? All right. Darlington, what's up? Darlington, your hand is raised. Can you undo a dual boot if you change your mind? Yes, you can undo a dual boot. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can undo anything. You can undo anything. If you go on, if you start, I mean, I told you I started on Windows. So if you start on Windows and over time you say, oh, you want a dual boot, it's fine. I started on Windows, I went to a dual boot, and then I completely ditched Windows. So I've been through all 3 processes. So okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Does that work? No, not type. Open, like actually open PowerShell. Actually, you have to actually open PowerShell. Hold on, I've stopped presenting here, and I want to present here. Okay, so I will share my whole screen.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question, but my system is having some issues.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes, so I have opened PowerShell. So, but what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing Windows/System 32. So, but this system is a 64 bits. I don't know why it's showing 32. I don't know if you understand me.
I understand. I understand. So I'm coming. Can people see
Okay.
my PowerShell? Yeah, you guys can see it. For your case, send a screenshot of yours. Let me really see. Because there's power. Okay, yeah. There's PowerShell x86, which would open in 32 bits. Let me show you. It's actually normal. I think I know what you're saying. I think this one that shows x82. So probably on the one for 32. I don't know if you see the difference. This is normal, and then this is showing x86. It might show as 32 in some cases. So I think it's fine, provided it looks just like this, and I mean, it probably looks just like this. Okay. Someone said option 2 is for those who want to ditch Windows. No, 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 no. Option 2 is not for those that want to ditch Windows. Option 2 is if you, yeah, if you want to set up Linux in Windows. If you want to set up Linux in Windows. All right, so the first command is WSL -install from dash Ubuntu 28. That's the first command. So I would do that. Install. Ah, yes, network issue. Network issue. Some people might have slow network. So you see what? Yeah, I mean, I was just checking the. I typed cd first. It's just like change directory. It does nothing because I didn't put anything. You no need to do it. I was just checking the prompt. That's all. You guys can see my screen, yeah? I've typed in the command. It's going to request operation like this, and it's going to start installing. So what this tells you is installing virtual machine platform. So, I told you there is a bowl and then there is a cup in it, and then want to install Windows in that cup. Now, I use that to give you the concept. Now, let's go to the actual maths behind it. What is happening is the bowl is your actual operating system, your actual machine. Now, since we plan to put Linux, which is another operating system or another machine, inside, we do what is called a virtual machine platform. For those that have heard VMware, Azure VMware, hope this will not consume data. About 4-5 gig. I think that's something I should have factored in. It would. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Yeah, about 4-5 gig. Okay, so this is the thing. Whoever cannot do it now, maybe because of Wi-Fi or whatever, it's okay. You just follow along either ways. So it has installed the second line said virtual machine platform has been installed, and then installing WSF for Windows. So I click OK, and then I gotta go use night sub. No wahala, bro. All right, can you hear me now? All right, okay. Sorry about that. I had to change mics. Dead. Okay, so I've installed Ubuntu 22.05. Hope you can see it here. So this is what it should look like for you guys. So you said you must reboot your system at this point. So this is like the first stage, and once you've done this stage, your problem is like half solved. Is anybody following, or I should just keep on moving? Yes. When it shows you that, it will Osayade, sorry if I didn't pronounce it. When it shows you requested operation required elevation, you wait a bit, and then it should show you like a pop-up, and you say yes. If that doesn't work, if you wait like maybe yes, still at 0%, it might take a while. It might take a while. I mean, my internet speed is like about 100 and something MB or so per second. Okay, so it's going to take a while. So sorry, I did not reason the internet speed. If I did, I probably would have known, and this might not happen on the call. Probably would have done it before now, but for the person that is showing, if yours is still showing, wait, hold on, let me address somebody. The requested operation requires elevation. If it's still frozen at that page, I think you should first exit the meeting, because they need to like escalate WSL first. But hopefully by now it should have been solved. Now the next one is, please, you've worked with Ubuntu 24.04. Is it okay? Yes, it's fine. If that's what you have, it's okay. If you want to do Ubuntu 24.04 on WSL, I don't recommend it. You can, it might work, but no. I'm working with 22.04 on WSL. So just David, yours is showing Windows Subsystem for Linux 2.6.1 has been installed. You are not seeing virtual machine platform. It's fine. You are installing WSL. What yours did is it installed WSL, and like it's abstracted virtual machine platform. So you're just installing all as a whole wrapper, or a program you've used has already installed virtual machine platform. But it's fine, provided WSL. WSL is Windows Subsystem for Linux, and yours has been installed, so good to go. You had victory was at 0.1%, is at 74% now. It's fine. So people are following. I will just be on the chats in case there is anything. I want to proceed, but let somebody have his done yet first. You just started. You forgot to add space. Yes. So somebody has done Arotayo. Oh God, please. Sorry if that's not pronounced. The requested operation is successful. Changes will not be effective until the system reboots. So this is where you have to leave the call and reboot your system. I would wait for you because you're the first person that has gone this far. Queen is still at 0.0. What's at 0.0? Okay, so this is what will happen. When you tell me something is at 0.0 or at 10, please tell me what exactly. Is it virtual machine platform? Is it Windows Subsystem for Linux? Or is it Ubuntu 22.04? Because 3 things are being installed at once. Yeah, Darlington, what's up? Okay, so Windows Subsystem is still at 0, meaning probably virtual machine platform has been installed. Yeah, you have no choice but to wait, man. Okay. I mean, I'm happy like about 5, 6, 7 people are following. So Ubuntu halfway done. Oni himself. All right, that's good. For the people that are using Mac, you can just enjoy the whole process, but we'll deal with yours specially. Said throw that Mac away. Can you imagine?
Please, I want to ask.
Yeah,
Sorry for
yeah.
interfering. I have
No, feel free.
Oracle virtual machine virtual box. So there was something I used it for, like Ubuntu. Then I installed the Ubuntu, but I don't know whether it's the same thing with what we're doing now. Like, I don't know if you understand
Okay,
me.
okay. So now this is what I want to explain to you. You can mute your mic, please. Okay. So his problem is, oh no, not his problem. His case is there's what is called Oracle VM. For those that have not heard of Oracle VM, if you notice, we're installing a virtual machine platform. Oracle VM means Oracle Virtual Machine. What Oracle VM do is it gives you a cup where you can put a machine or an operating system inside. So he has used Oracle to work with something before, to install Ubuntu before, meaning he does not have a problem. He can just work on that Ubuntu. Why didn't I recommend Oracle Virtual Machine? Oracle Virtual Machine is, I don't know how many gig that thing is, but when it generates, the way Oracle Virtual Machine works is it will generate a file or a folder that contains the operating system, and it's going to go up like 10 gig. And anytime you open Oracle Virtual Machine, you have to dedicate RAM to the virtual machine yourself. Sometimes if you have 16 gig, you have to dedicate like 4 to 8 gig. But I think you know where the problem is. The problem is you need to have a lot of RAM. And so many people that completed the form, their RAM is like 8 gig, 4 gig, 12 gig. So he probably has enough RAM and he can run virtual machine, the Oracle virtual machine. So that's good. So if your Ubuntu is 22.04 or 24.0, 24.02 or whatever, you can install, you can proceed. You don't have any problem. We'll just skip to ROS.
Sorry, but I feel I should do the same thing you guys are doing so that I can, like, I want to learn the way you guys are learning it so that I can follow through. Because this one now, I don't know if it will confuse me at the long run.
Well, the thing is, okay, so this depends on if you still have space, because you basically your virtual machine. Okay, just follow through. Feel free to follow through. Nothing happens. You can have more than one virtual machine. I have like now 11 virtual machines on my PC, so you can have more than one. You can do whatever you want to do, right? So you can learn, but know that this will still go up additional space from your hard drive. But provided you are not running the two of them at the same time, you are good, because running two of them at the same time is memory intensive, big system, big problem. How do I confirm the version of Ubuntu installed? David, please, I'd love to understand your position. Did you type in the command, like the one I put, WSL install Ubuntu 22.04? If you typed in 22.04, then it's installing 22. Yeah, then it's 22.04. 11 VMware. Yes, like you need to understand different people work with different things. Like you get a job that they tell you they want to do it on Ubuntu 18. why use Ubuntu 18? But like I can't start installing Ubuntu 18 on my disk now, so I'll just use a VMware with Ubuntu 18. Please, you need the commands. Okay, let me put the command again. Okay, so how do I confirm the someone said WSL has been installed, but started installing it. Yes, after I install WSL, it will install Ubuntu 22.04. So that's your case, Victory. How do I confirm the version of Ubuntu? Okay, I've answered that. It's showing distribution successfully installed. It can be launched via, yeah, this is how to launch the Ubuntu, don't worry. Launching Ubuntu, provide, EJ, you launched it already, David. I mean, then again, you can do that if you want to. I wanted to walk you through that process. Okay, you didn't. It's launched automatically. If I remember, oh, you are the one that they installed 2.6.1. What do I know about the architecture, sir? Probably that's why it's a different. It will work. It will launch on its own. It's fine. It's work. But now that it has launched on its own, create a password. You put the default account, David. Put a new password. You should be fine. Yours restarted. Okay, can you restart yours? Yeah, you can restart yours. Control C. Control C should cancel it, and then you close it. But before you restart, ensure you have like 25 gig free space. Ensure you are not running. The only thing you are running is this Google Meet, so that I will be sure that okay, you are using the least amount of RAM. Ensure you queue your background tags. Okay, installing Ubuntu. Great. So at least now you guys can see, oh, you're actually doing things by yourself, and then you go outside and you can talk and say, hey, this is what I did, this is what I did. Just additional flex. So basically, this is how things work behind the scene. They do all of this and then they package it in a container and then they give to you. So yeah, while I'm at it, let me just drop this. I mean, there's a little bit of time. So that stuff that I was talking about LinkedIn, what the person pointed out was he noticed that when I make a post about a job or about a project, I like find a way to like link it together. So operation timed out. Please send a screenshot of this operation timed out to the group chat. Let me see what you're talking about. So yeah, I like link up my projects together. Like say I'm working on 6 projects at the same time. Project A, I make a post about it. The next time I'm making a post about project A, I link the last post to it. So what it does is there are times I'm on my phone, I see someone reads my post, and then he clicks the link. You get a notification when he reads like the second post and probably reacts to it. So like you like build this kind of chain, and then people are like following through the story and all of that. So what that does for you is it's stronger than your CV. I'm not even going to lie. It's far stronger than your CV because there are recruiters on LinkedIn. There are that HR that will interview you is also on LinkedIn. For those that have time to even be on LinkedIn, they are on LinkedIn. And all the jobs that I have gotten is usually from LinkedIn. And the way it works is there's this example I want to give. There was a project I did about simulation. The project took about 3 days. I split it into like 5 different posts. So what happened was I got a notification that a HR followed me, and the next notification was he reacted to a post about that project, and then he reacted to another post that was linked to that one because I always drop the links in my post. And then after reacting to all 5 of the posts, I just knew like from experience that, oh, this person is going to message me. And then he messaged me and asked for like, oh, he wants someone to do something similar to this job I've done. How can he go about it? So when you say, for example, you've installed you've installed WSL or you've installed this, you can make a post about it. You can say operation timeouts. You can make a post about it. Today on so training, I did this, I did that. My point is, people underestimate visibility a lot. The fact that you put yourself out there, people might say, okay, it's just posting, but it goes a long way. Is it weird that the installation is held at 90 for a while? No. Nothing is weird in computing, guy. Sometimes things happen. Darlington stuff has timed out. So, Darlington, you first of all, I noticed you have so many tabs open, and those tabs are open on Chrome. My assumption is the resources are down. So, it's either that or your network is bad. So, you are going to have to close a couple of things, ensure it's only the meeting that is open, and try again. Close other stuff, because so you guys act as if you have infinite RAM. Just close a couple of things. Right, so about Chrome, Chrome, I literally have, do you know, okay, what next? Okay, operation successful. Okay, so I have like 3 people. Okay, operation successful, changes will not be effect until, now reboot the system. So you have to leave the meeting and reboot. So I have like 2 people that are done. Let's say if this guy adds, and then we'll go to the next one. Rebooted, okay, Oni is done. The first girl, or if that's a guy, done. And then Emmanuel. So I would move on very soon. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you actually put yourself outside, you will get a lot of opportunities. And it's when jobs come to look for you, it's easier because like they've seen you and they're the ones that want you. You don't have to like apply and stress. And for those that are saying, oh, probably you don't want jobs, does posting help for your academic? Does posting help for academia? Yes, it does. It does, because it's what they call like contribution to knowledge. And there are a couple of people on my comment sections that they see some things and they're like, oh, they like the way they like the way I explain this, they like the way I explain that. That's this thing. And I think that LinkedIn applied for a couple of stuff. I think there was time we did 1 or 2 things together. But when you apply for these programs, in your CV, you add your link. I'm just calling that because he's somebody that knows about this. You add your link your LinkedIn portfolio to your CV, or they might even demand for you. The same way you try to register for this program and I asked for your LinkedIn CV, your LinkedIn link profile. So you would get a notification when the school actually visits your profile. They actually go to your profile to see what you've done. Some go to find faults, because I know someone who lost his job because of one very improper joke on LinkedIn. So they like try anything they see. If they see good, they mark it towards your good. If they see bad, they mark it towards your bad, and that kind of thing. So yeah. Okay, currently rebooting the system. Good. We have good number of people. Okay, so now how do we verify that we're on? How do we verify that we're on this thing? We're now going to open PowerShell. Okay, I've not rebooted mine. I left it so everybody can see what's what. So let me reboot mine. Meaning I lose this. Okay, I lose that screen. And then I reboot. Restarts. Okay, so that's restarting. We've lost the screen that was sharing because it's restarting. Okay, so while it restarts, Okay, Victory is rebooting, so he has left the meeting. So yeah, except there is anything in particular you want me to even talk about posting on LinkedIn, but I can't even start overemphasizing how it helps you. I saw a few people that made posts about the first class. I appreciated it. I tried to repost with the company account. It just gives you more visibility and like, oh hey, this guy is doing something, and is somebody. Saka, even if you know the way I met Saka, Saka made a post on LinkedIn. That's how I met Saka. I always talk about Saka because he's top-notch engineer. He's a top-notch guy. So I met him on. Yours is still saying timed out. Mm, mm, I'm beginning to feel there's another issue. Wait, Darlington, what Windows are you using? 11, 10, 8. Darlington, please answer. So I'll know.
Yes, sorry. I'm using 11. Sorry, 10. 10.
Yeah, 11, 10.
Yes, I'm using Windows 10. That was why I was asking you about this system 32 bits because I know this system is 64.
Okay, so close PowerShell and use command prompt. Let's see. Close PowerShell and use command prompt.
Okay.
Server name or address could not be resolved. What Windows are you using, Queen?
I'm using Windows 11. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. When they say a server name or address cannot be resolved, it's either you don't have internet connection, which is false because you're on the call, or probably on the call with your phone, and maybe your laptop is not internet connection. But again, you are smart enough to know if you have internet connection. The next thing that could be the issue is DNS. This is called DNS, domain name server. It cannot route to WSL. So if I remember your issue, you were at 0% and you remained at 0%, right?
I remained at 0%. I cancelled it. I'm not using the same laptop for installation that I'm using for the meeting.
Okay,
That's
so
yeah.
but the laptop has internet connection, yeah.
I think so. Like I don't know
Oh
whether
my
it's
god! Oh my
no,
god!
it has
I
internet
gave you
connection.
benefit of doubt. I gave you benefit of doubt. What do you say?
It has internet connection. I'm not just sure if it's strong enough, like the signal strength.
Because
That's what I'm trying to do.
it cannot find the name. What happens is it cannot find when okay, right, do this. Ping www.google.com because I know google.com will always be alive. If you get server name cannot be resolved, then I would have to fix your DNS issue separately because you see Windows. Anyways, the last command I sent, please, is for Queen. Oh, it's not the next step. Queen, ping www on the PC, just to be sure. Okay, so mine has restarted, meaning you would see me soon. Hey guys, then I'll turn this off. Okay. So let me share the screen so you can see what it looks like after restarting. No, time. This is what it looks like. It's telling me launching Ubuntu 24. Yes, this is what that first person said. Yours is still at 19. James, leave it. Use fast.com to check internet strength. Yes. So Olalekan, yes, internet strength is there, but the problem is might not just be internet strength. That's why I said ping. Ping will check internet strength because from the package, you would see how many packets were sent and the time taken. So you can calculate internet strength from there. But why I said ping is because ping will check if DNS can even can resolve the name. This okay, let me break it down. This is what I mean. This is not part of robotics, but if you learn a thing or two, it won't be bad. When I say www.google.com, you and I understand it. We know what that means. But the computer doesn't know what that is. Matter of fact, the only thing the computer knows is IP addresses. So same issue, program timed out. Okay, don't worry, I'll come back to that. So your computer does not know Google. It only knows the IP address. So each time you say Google, www.google.com, there's a server in between called DNS that takes that name and returns an IP that your laptop should go to. For those of us that have heard of host file, when you are maybe trying to crack software and they tell you go to the host file and cancel, remove one IP like that, so that the software will not be able to connect back because like it cannot resolve the IP from the name. So going on fast.ng or whatever, we'll just check internet speed, but not that. Okay, so they said I should, what's the issue? Same issue, program timed out. Okay, you can keep on trying, you can restart your PC, you can try left and right, but I'll come back to you later. Let's just move forward. How did I launch the Ubuntu? Okay, how did I launch it? It came up after I restarted, it came up. But if that's not the case for you, to launch Ubuntu, open the PowerShell again. If you open PowerShell, do this. Good, Stanley is done. So this is for Arotayo or anybody that wants to launch Ubuntu. If maybe when you restarted, Ubuntu did not come up. So my username, what's my username? Cruise. Please enter a username matching the regular expression configured. Name or use force bad name option to relax this. Okay, so I can explain this, but you people might not get this. If you use a capital letter, it doesn't recognize capital letters. So there are two things we can do. This long essay that it wrote for me is because it does not understand capital letter. Maybe Windows would have said, hey, I don't understand capital letter. That's another thing I tell you about grace. Windows does things properly to tell you it's capital letter. But now there is no exact type checking for Linux, so it's not really checking. It just knows that your name does not conform to what it's expecting. So I can force it. I can, for people that have heard git push force or anything force in computer, once you add a force, you just force it. But no, let's not force it. Let's be rational. Okay. It went. It's correct now. As you notice, it's giving us, this is what it gave us for the bad name, but it has gone. We've solved the problem, but now it's telling us failed to start systemed user session for root. If you get this issue, it's totally fine. The problem is systemed. Okay, this is highly not Linux inclined, but think of systemed as your process manager for Windows. Again, you might not know what process manager is, even if you use the Windows, because that's like the internal of Windows. But chat, just, I mean, I might probably come over it some other class. And what's my password? Also, heads up, when you type password in Linux, it does not show. So you have to be super careful. It doesn't show as asterisk, it doesn't show as anything. So installation unsuccessful. So now, if you notice, if you open PowerShell, your PowerShell has changed. You are seeing this green Lord Cruz at Lord Cruz. It's no more the regular PowerShell that it used to be. After restarting, it's enabling features on. Yeah, enable it. Just let it do its thing. Mine is there is no distribution with the supplied name. Okay, just write WSL. Write only WSL. Let me see. For Osanya, they just write only WSL. Let me see what it's going to do for you. If you write only WSL, what happens is it will load the only operating system that you have. So write WSL. Okay, just finished doing this thing. Okay, yeah, you can see it gives you like some form of system information, gives you like an IP. But I mean, I'm freely sharing this up here because this is not the real address. It's like an internal one. You can see your usage. You just see data, and then welcome to Ubuntu. So I just finished. I didn't quite get how to launch Ubuntu. Okay, yeah, that's what we are on. So the general command is this. But somebody had an issue with it just now. So if that one doesn't work, then just WSL should do. Easy. Osanyade. Please, Osanyade, do you have screenshots of your previous installation? Because I think Ubuntu did not install. Do you have screenshots of it? If you do, just drop it on the group chat. I'm trying to scroll through the chat to see your last, because what's going on is you have your Ubuntu did not installed. Okay, you don't have screenshots. Okay, let me see if I can see the last thing you said. Osanyade. Okay, the last thing you said was mine is still on elevation. After elevation, what happened? Do you remember what happened after you got that elevation stuff? Yes, somebody has finally entered, which is Arotayo. Congratulations, the first person. No, that's not the first person. That's me. That's bias. I think David was the first person. But okay, yeah, you've already celebrated. I can't take it back. David, I'm sorry. Jawin James, your own might remain at. Okay, Sunny is back. Sunny, congratulations, you passed the first stage. Yes, Osanyade, you did it again and it reworked. Yeah, at times computers are just non-deterministic. Yeah, that reminds me. On my slide, I said something about non-deterministic, and I did not answer. I don't know if anybody catched that, but operating systems are non-deterministic, meaning you cannot 100% predict what would happen. So you can try the first time, it won't work. You try the second time, it works. Somehow it just works. For those that code for a long time, you can have one bug and you'll be going on and on and on. And somebody is having register error. I read it again and it worked. Says application requires Windows Subsystem for optional components. And Victory, after he said that, what happened? James, they said the violence. The kingdom of God suffered violence, violent taken by force. Congratulations for you if it went through. It's either it went through or you've cancelled it at 90. You will find out when you restart. Okay, Ife Chuku, please, I'm sorry, I skipped the entire middle part. My brain didn't process it. Mine opened an Ubuntu window, and this was the error. Installing this might take a minute. Okay, that's normal. WSL reissue distribution error failed. 0x hex. WSL2 requires an update from kernel component. Your component. Okay, so what's going on is for WSL, there's WSL1 and WSL2. Whenever you type WSL, it selects WSL2 automatically to install. Like WSL2, think of it as the updated version. Yeah. So in your case now, when we say WSL wants to install 2. But your laptop is saying, Alpha, you can't install 2. So you have to specify 1. But I'm not going to give you a command to specify 1 because if you specify 1, your ROS and the rest will be a bit slow. So let's try and fix the issue. I'm going to head over to the link you dropped. I'll read a little bit. So this is me reading documentations. The kernel okay, the Linux kernel installs to run the reason for Windows for I'm more frequently push updates or use. Okay, so let me do this for you, bro. I mean, it's not like okay, so I'm coming back. It's suggesting I run by oh yeah, we got the same thing. WSL.exe install admit. Okay. if I chuku, okay, if I chuku, WSL.exe force I install. The last command is for you. Try it and let's see what goes from there. For victory, what exactly is your issue? It didn't. Okay, you didn't launch it. Okay, try and launch it. Anyways, for those of us that have gotten to this stage, once you are in this page, like the rest is finished. Like once you just get to this page that I am at, this stuff, you are on Linux in Windows, so by the special grace of God, you are covered. For those of you that are at that stage, the current stage, let me just tell you what to do. I will drop it on the group chat. So you copy from the group chat, because if I drop it on the chat, people would get. I typed a surname and it's asking for a new password, but it's not letting me. Okay, so I gave a heads up. It's not like Windows. When you type a password in Linux, you don't see feedback. So you have to be super careful and super sure of what you're typing. It won't show you asterisks or dots like other normal operating systems. So what you're typing is actually going in, but it's not showing you feedback. All right. So as I said, for the people that are at this stage that you're seeing on the screen, that is, you've installed up to this point, I think there are like 2-3 of them. I will drop how to go on the group chats. So do not expect commands here. The commands that will be on the meeting are for people that are stuck, because we have a long way to go with a couple of guys. Sanya Day, there is no distribution with the supplied name. No. For Sanya Day, you are actually in it. You are in it. Please enable BIOS. Sanya Day, if it doesn't run, your problem is BIOS. If it doesn't run, but tell me what's the current update. Your problem is I have to install visualization on your BIOS. Most laptops have it turned off or turned on, depending. And please speak. Whoever raised his hand should just talk, please. I can see your sign. The hands are up.
Yeah, good evening.
Hey,
Yes, it's showing me that it is BIOS, Visual
okay.
Machine Platform, Windows Visual.
Yes,
Please enable
visualization.
the
Yes, visualization. Don't worry. Your case, everything is done because I can see that if you look at the window that opened, the top right is saying Ubuntu. Ubuntu is on, everything is good. The problem is you are supposed to go into BIOS and then go to hardware acceleration and then select visualization. If you've never gone into BIOS, do not go into BIOS, please. I would handle yours separately. Yours is like your problem is the actual bowl, not the cup. The actual rubber, like the rubber they leak. So we have to like patch it from BIOS. So just chill for me. Okay, so Msani is all good. Meaning I have more people. So on the group chat, a commands here are for participants who have successfully installed WSL and Ubuntu. WSL and Ubuntu. Okay. Okay, so now let me swing over to installing ROS. I think it makes sense to do it on the screen where you guys can see it's not on this one. Call me here, friend, call me bro. I mean this laptop is a bit slow, but everything can do so the eyes closed. About it first, and first. It is a beautiful day. So this is what I'm looking for. Documentation. ROS documentation. It has like the list of things you have to do. And this is for Humble. Each different ROS have different things they do. So I want to install. So you can see Windows 10. This is Windows 10 binary. This is not what we are doing. This is option 3. Option 3 where I said you install ROS directly on Windows without the Ubuntu comp or the Ubuntu this thing. Do not click on it. It's possible, but don't do it. And in all this list, you do not see Mac. Mac has a different approach to life. But you can see recommended on Ubuntu and Red Hat. This is Red Hat, another kind of Linux. So this is where we go to. All right. It's against my ethics to just copy code. But basically, I'll give you an overview of what this could do. It sets typing formats or what is called a local. So we know that everything we're using US English because all coding is done in US English. No matter the language you speak, you write Python code in English. Everything is English, and then it sets the language as this and UTF unified whatever. So you can copy it. The idea is do not copy things you don't understand. There is this popular joke that is going on where Cursor helped somebody, all this vibe coding stuff. So it's Cursor sent in a command that deleted database. I saw that the person came to make the complaint on Reddit. And before you know, it became a meme everywhere. So everybody was posting. That's a real problem. Everybody's laughing now, but that guy is fucked. So do not just copy things and put in your terminal. Try and understand them. So, but for this, we can copy it. It's from the documentation from like ROS directly. And I mean, I know what it's doing. It's going to ask for the password. Each time you use sudo, super user do, it's, if you notice sudo, 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 these are things that you cannot change being a normal user, so you have to be like a super user to do it. So it requests for the password. Input my password. Okay, and then this runs. It's downloading a lot of things. Give it time. Call me, so mine is done. Now let me copy that command in the group chats, because I said I was going to put it in the group chats. Said it's a beautiful day outside today. I don't know what car I'm gonna drive today. Ammonia about me 300 grams. And then I carry it out around 100. Eyes closed. So this is the first command. You guys can get it from the group chat and follow up. I would appreciate if you like react to the message. You can reply, but I mean reacting is a bit more organized. I can count the people. Just react to the message. Let me know, okay, you've done it, or yeah, thanks. So one person. Please, if you have any issues, I would address your issue. Just put it on the group chat. That if you have any issues, no, not on the group chat. On the meeting, the chat here in the meeting. Yes, at this point, everything is no. This is not the same for Ubuntu. This guy that is on Ubuntu 24. Yes, this is the same for you. Chukwebuka, this is the same for this one. Is the same for you. This one is the same. Anytime I digress from, everything I'm giving you is 22. Anytime I want to digress, I'll tell you, okay, this is for 24. I would just let you know. I would like put it somewhere, since I know, okay, yeah, you have 24. Thank you for pointing that out too. At least I know somebody now is going to install Jazzy. So this is Jazzy. Okay, so and I'll be like 24 and 22. Okay, that's it. That's a nice way to do it. So what the second thing do is I have to explain repositories. Okay, we might have like another class on this, because this is like how Linux works. But when we install on Linux, we have this very large, let's say our Apple Store or our Google Store or our Microsoft Store. For Linux has like the largest of it all. It's called Packet Manager, like this apt or repository, repo, whatever name you want to call it. So there's an Ubuntu Universe repository, like big stuff. And then like you install things from there, you pull things from there. You want to install VLC, sudo apt install VLC. It goes into the repository and say, okay, where is VLC? And like it takes VLC from there and installs it. So we don't download exes and double click on exe to install. That's a very long process. It's more comfortable to just stay in your terminal and like and then it goes up from there. So like the package management. So this is one of the reasons why they also chose Ubuntu to start the Rust development, because there are different packages in Rust, nav2, move it, a lot. You can even write your own package, right? You can write your package and you can like, you write your package, or you build it, you send it out, and people can also use your package. So like everything is really organized. So please, if you've done it, just react. So okay, 4 people have run the first. I've run the first one, meaning nobody has gotten to the second one. So let me do the second one here and show you guys what happens. So it tells you adding components to universe. What is it adding exactly? The first thing we said that it should add. So that's this apt sudo add apt repository universe. So that is done for me. Let me wait for you guys then. Okay, you are not able to paste the code. Please, to paste on a Windows terminal is Control-Shift-V. Control, I know on a Linux terminal, everything is everything your guys did it. Control. Anybody that has issue pasting, do Control-Shift-V. So you can paste normally. You can copy normally, Control-C, but then you add a shift to paste. We also have issues. Do we send the whole command once? Yes, you can send the whole command once. Linux will run it one by one. Not just Linux, even command prompts can do it. It's not really a super power. If your system hasn't come up since the reboot, what happens when a virtual machine doesn't install and you reboot it? Okay, do you have a this is for James? Do you have a blue screen where something is like rotating? Just tell me, take a picture of your screen, let me see what's going on. I think that'll help me know what's going on actually. If you finish the first command, just react on the second one so that I can proceed. If you have any issue too, the class is longer than expected because all this is taking time. So maybe if you have somewhere to be, you are free. I would just organize a follow-up. But please, if you've come this far, it's just a couple of commands left to get things done. So all right, congratulations, Eniola. You have entered the second one. Yours is saying incorrect password. Aha. So I'm very sure you've typed the password wrong. Or when you're creating the password, you type the password wrong twice. Okay, do a screen record. Press any key to continue. I'm pressing it, but it's taking me out. Okay, Emmanuel, record your screen and redo this procedure. There are things that would show that I would want to see. Probably things that you might not. Control-Shift-V is not pasting for you. Okay. Right click. You should have a paste option. If you don't have a paste option, you have fingers and keyboards. You're going to stress yourself. But you should have a paste option. You should have a paste option. So this is so James said he hasn't gotten past that screen for like 7 minutes now. This is the beauty. This is the beauty of doing things, of doing this procedure. You get to see the stress involved, and I mean you would appreciate this process. So what you're going to do is for your case, there's nothing I can read. For James' case, there's no log. I can only debug what I can see. So 7 minutes is enough time for him to hard reboot. So long press on your power button for like 1, 2, 3 minutes, it should go off. If it doesn't, take out your battery. That's if your battery is not inbuilt. If your battery is inbuilt, you just have to long press it for a long time. It would go off. Things like this happen. And Windows is random. Wait, so I come on. Where is up? You put password, it's saying command not found. No. That means you're already logged in. Send the screenshots. If I send command, if it says command not found, it means you are logged in a bash, and it's if you just type anything, if you put your password in the bash, it will show up as a command. Will I have to restart the process again? James, please tell me, where did you stop? Tell me what happened before you restarted. Did you see WSL installed or Ubuntu 22.04? I need to know. Okay, one moment. I want to play a video that somebody sent in case you hear the noise. Installed. I'm coming. Installing. This might take a few. Please enable virtual machine platform Windows features and ensure. Okay, James Brown, your problem is not. Sorry, it's James that has the frozen screen. It's Emmanuel a clap. Not sure at all. It's just virtualization. I will be with you shortly. James, you see the joy. you get that first joy, installation successful. There's this euphoria that comes with doing all these things yourself. And this all makes you a robotics engineer. So you see this exact process. The reason why I'm putting you through this process is on a robot has a, the first that I explained, I showed you a Raspberry Pi. The robot has a Raspberry Pi. You notice that Raspberry Pi, it's even worse. The Raspberry Pi is not running any operating system yet. So you would be the one to figure out the bowl and figure out the container, and it's this process you would go through. It might not be Ubuntu 22.4. It might be another operating system. But now you know that, okay, yeah, this is how it is. And if you ever get stuck, you know that, okay, you've messed around. You know that you would look at the errors, you would copy it. You only pass through this process if you install things yourself. And robotics is not just moving the robot and touching hardware. If you don't know this part, then you can't stand on your own. So it's more stressful for me, but I mean, I have to go over about 50 something students stuff. Already I can't access. Okay. So on the group, 2 people have passed that second stage. So let me drop the next command. We're almost done. So the second command is the actual ROS command. So this is where there is slight change. I would paste for 22 first, and then for 24. So I would go 22, here. Reading the code, I think they are even the same thing, but let me not just play with that. Let me just 24 here. So call me friend, call me broken, just one moment. Okay, sorry. Sunny, what's going on? Let me see, what's Sunny's issue? Incorrect password. And Sunny, I said you should send me something to see now. Send me like a screenshot of what's going on. I need to see your screen. Just send me a screenshot, please. Okay. So the last command I put, if you look at my screen, that's the command. And let's see if it works. Did that work? That moved too fast. That moved too fast. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Okay. Okay, it did. It did. So let me wait for you people. Just give me a tick if you have. Oh, okay, yeah, someone has done it. So I'll proceed to the next. I'll proceed to the next one. Sunny, I'm still waiting for your feedback, please. Is that feedback? Mind. Jojo Mind, is it, are you Sunny? Okay, yes, you are Sunny. In your case, you clearly are putting in the wrong password. I mean, it's a computer. I can't say the computer is making a mistake. You are logged in into Linux. And if you notice, all the commands you've been putting, you've not actually run anyone because of this issue. So it's either when you are putting in your, because you are the first, I think you complain that you're not seeing what is going on, you're not seeing the password. So you've either set a password that is different from what you think you set. So now that you're putting in the right password, it is not working for you. In this case, I would have to switch into the super user and delete this Jojo Mind account I are seeing and create a new user. If you notice, you created a new user and then we'll create a new user with the actual password. So until you figure out your password or we do that, you cannot proceed. So you would have to wait. It's either you try and remember the password or you just wait and I'll get back to you. So you're not stuck. You probably just made a mistake forgetting your password. Which code do we run after set local? David, I would make reference to it on the group chat. I don't want to put it here because it would, I don't want any mix-ups. So after set local, please on the group chat pay attention. David, this is after set local. Okay. Okay. Somebody wants to join. Zozo. All right. Once somebody reacts to the okay, somebody has reacted. Let me drop the next command so I don't delay him. I hope you guys know where I'm getting the commands from. I'm not really manufacturing them from anywhere. We're on Rust documentation. If you want to ever install anything, try and go to the documentation. It gives the whole guide, but you would have to read and put in some efforts. But that's why you are a robotics engineer in the first place. So I would put in the development tool. Usually I install this, but I earlier said that in robotics you can actually make your own package and people can use your package. So this is where we use things like this. If you are low on, maybe we don't really need it for this stuff, so I'll just do what we need. But no harm, if you want to put it, fine. If you also don't put it now, you can always put it later. So we have this sudo apt updates. Let me put that on the group chat too. This is, I would say, reply after this sudo apt update. You can see my run, and it showed this. David, you're not on the WhatsApp group chat. There's no way you received this mail without being on the WhatsApp group chat. I'm very, very sorry about that. How are you not on the WhatsApp group chat? Oh, shit. Okay, I'll drop the link to the WhatsApp group chat again. There's a group chat with like 50 something members. That's like everybody there. I didn't know that. I didn't know it's not on it. Group chat, please. Also, David, please. Where are you? Have you installed everything? Okay, finally passed. What did you finally pass? Okay, pass the pasting. You finally passed the pasting. Okay. 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 So this is the group chat. Okay, click on the group chat. Join the group chat. I would swing over there and put the order of things. Somebody has done sudo out updates. Okay, David just joined. So, David, let me send you the things you need to do in your DM. It will confuse people on the group chat. Permission to enter your DM. Permission granted. Queen, how did you get to sudo apt updates? I thought you said you were stuck somewhere. Joro.
I'm using 2 laptops.
Don't trust women.
My other laptop is still showing 12%. No, that was the main one. The one I'm using right now is the one we're using for this meeting, which I did not want to.
Explanations. Okay, so I'm in David's DM. So hold on. Okay, you ran that already. How did you run? How do you run it if you're not on the group chat? Okay, maybe you went to the source. You went to the. Call me, friend, call me, roll, call me, you can do so with your eyes closed. If I am answering your DM, reason being that what you are requesting for will scatter the flow of the group. So that the message I just sent is the answer to your question. Okay, 3 people are at sudo apt updates. So by now, people must have seen where I'm getting the commands from. So I'm sure there are some pretty smart people that would have been ahead of me. But if you want to move fast, do it correctly. Before I start debugging a problem that I don't know how it started. So I think everybody can see my screen. The next command, for those that are on the same pace with me, the next command is upgrade. And let me put it on the group chat too. Reply. After this, is this. So upgrade generally takes a while, and it asks you yes or no. Now, you say at this point, do you want to continue? Y or N? Let me just provide these screenshots to help you guys. When you here, do you want to continue? Y or N? Did that work? Okay, it works. Click on Y. You click on not click on Y. Enter Y. Enter Y. So why? Okay, so I'm done with mine. I would wait for someone to react. I started. Please, have I started? Well, please. Okay, Zora said, am I installing Rust Humble or Rust Jazzy? I don't have a choice. The choice depends on what Ubuntu you are doing. What we are doing is Ubuntu 22. Ubuntu 22 is Rust Humble. It's always Rust Humble. You can do your experiments to install Jazzy on 22, but it doesn't work that way. So it's Rust Humble. But if you are on 24, I know there are a couple of people that are on 24, then it's Jazzy. Then in the commands I'm sending on the group, I'm telling you 22, here's your command. 24, here's your command. If I do not specify, then they are the same. James is still stuck in the first step of installing Rosbo. Wait, James, I know the one that have password error. Wait, I'm coming, James. I'm coming. Hold on. Still stuck in the first step of installing Rosbo, as it's apparently not letting me type in your password. You are typing your password. Again, it doesn't show you are typing in the password, right? I've said this over and over again. When you type a password on Linux, it remains blank. It doesn't show you asterisks or dots or whatever. So you are typing it, it's seeing it, but you are not seeing it. So you have to be very careful. I made that issue, and somebody now has entered the problem because his password is incorrect. Either the one he's typing now or the one he used to create the account. And I don't know, by design, I admit that's a bad design by Linux, but it is what it is. Yeah, but out of curiosity, I'm coming. Let me see something. Is there a way to see the asterisks in password for Linux? I mean, just out of curiosity. Normally, I know it's not possible. Okay, yes, you can make the asterisks appear. You edit the sudo as file, but that's difficult. Now, anytime you run sudo, Linux goes to a file called sudo as file and look at who exactly is sudo. Not anybody can run sudo. A long story, but I see how to do it. Well, I learned something today, but I'm not doing that because that's too complicated. That's out of scope. Okay, you show me in the chat. Let me see what you mean in the chat, please. Okay, somebody has. Oh, we are not here yet. We are still in Rust 2. Have you installed Rust 2? Oh, my guy is in dual boot. Sorry. Okay. Sure for you. Sure for you. So how do you install? How do you try sudo apt install? Okay, Sahid, I'll send it to you. What happened? I'll send it to you in the group chat. What happened? Okay, okay, okay. I'll send you how to install Gazebo in your DM because I know you're there and it seems you're faster. If I remember, Side, which Ubuntu are you on? 24 or 22? Please answer. Sorry, I'm working on the group in case anybody's wondering why they not heard me. I'm working on the group. Installing Gazebo for someone. He's a bit ahead. He probably wants to leave, so let's just do what we gotta do. Okay, so you should have been done installing Gazebo soon. For those that are at the most current, let me see if anybody has done. Okay, two people have moved ahead. Hold on, for those that have issue, I'll be with you shortly. Oh, you want me, my phone turns off. I don't want to be no more. After this, humble, that's for humble. To be specific, Ubuntu 22. Four. Olu and Eniola. So I will tag them to it in case they are not active. So Olu and Eniola have, okay, he's typing. He's typing. Okay, Olu and Eniola, they very soon they would have had everything installed, at least Ross. Olu. Eniola. All right. Okay, Chukwebuka, he's doing the for Ubuntu 24. Good to know. Hold on, I'll come to the people that have issues. The guys that are ahead, let them fly first. Then I will do for myself. For those that can see my screen, I am putting in humble. And then, let nature take its course. Okay. Yeah, it's Emmy Clap. I said I'll have to do visualization. The reason why I cannot do this for you now is because you cannot be on the call with your laptop when I'm doing it. You would have to be on the call with a phone, and you are going to use your phone camera to record the laptop because we are going to the BIOS. We're not even going to be on Windows, right? We're going to be on like the bare metal software, the BIOS that comes with the laptop. That one is particular to your laptop, so just chill. You are going to enjoy something by doing that, actually. You're going to learn something. So Emmy, yeah, in case you want to leave the call, feel free to leave the call. We'll schedule something else. Okay, you're on the call with your phone. Okay, you're on the call with your phone. You would have to share your screen. No. You would turn the phone camera to face your laptop. Who else there are two people that have visualization problem. I said something about visualization problem. There are two people like that. David too has gotten to the final bus stop. So if you can see my screen, the final bus stop is loading on my screen. James, I haven't forgotten you. I can see your stuff. I know what you mean in the chat. Oh, Saturday, you're also going to the final bus stop. Congratulations. At least I have 5 people. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, the rest that didn't get there, it's not like they don't know what they are doing. Everybody's following the same command, but almost everybody using the same operating system. But like, see, everything is that's why it's non-deterministic. There are different things that happens, and you just have to work with it. So now we have visualization problem. About 2 people have visualization problem. If you want to learn how to solve that problem, okay, so this is what we'll do. Those that have visualization problem, we would have. Oh, Sandy, you're talking about the problem. You have visualization problem. Or what other problem do you have? There are people with password problems. The incorrect password would have to, that is account management issue. Yes, visualization problem is in the BIOS, but let's call it visualization problem because there are other problems that might be in the BIOS that might have to like dig out. So they have the visualization problem. We have the whole account stuff because we have to delete an account and install a new and open a new one for those people that have misplaced their password or they've mistyped their password. And the people that have this connection timeout thing, my best guess is network. Oh, and the DNS. Did you resolve the DNS stuff? Okay, that's Queen. No problem. So let me add issues to debug. Now, I encourage everybody, even if you are not going to be, even if it's a problem, it doesn't mean a robot you work on will not have that problem later. It will. Like almost, I see 100% certainty, you would run into something that would make you run mad. Now, the skill is not in knowing everything, it's in knowing how to approach the problem. Because if you notice, so many people have had so many problems that I've solved on the fly. So it's knowing how to solve the problem. Okay, this is the log I'm having. I can read it. This is the problem. I click this link. I read this. I find solutions. That's what makes a robotics engineer. You don't have to know everything. I literally learned something on the call just now about sudo as file and da. So let me do this for you guys. Number 1, issues to debug. I said I want all of you to be on the class. You would learn something even if it's not your issue. 1, virtualization. I'm sure some people didn't even know what virtualization is, but now you are here knowing it. Good evening. 2, let's say account issue, account management or account access, da. account management. 3, DNS resolution. So I'll add to the list. I'll pin this. We are going to sort this out before our next official class. So if your issues fall anywhere here, please do not write it in the chat again. Do not remind me again. I have dedicated different classes for that. People have installed. Okay, my ROS has been installed. Good for me. I now have ROS on my Windows machine. On my Ubuntu in my Windows, but you get the gist. Sahid has an error message. An error occurred. Repository is not up to date, and the previous file. This is similar to Queen's problem, but Queen's own is keyring. This is headaches. Soros prayers. Will you love me in my own terms of? I don't want to be simple, don't change it. So Suleiman, your issue, I'm sending you series of codes. Run it in that order, and if you can please be sending me screenshots as you are doing it. I would be very grateful. And ensure you copy everything. Like, be sure like what you're copying, what I'm saying is what you're pasting. You didn't omit something. You didn't jump a step. All right, let me check where the current progress is. So there are some people that have ROS installed. If you have ROS installed, please just type ROS on the group chats. So I know you have ROS installed. David cannot locate the package Humble, unable to locate ROS Humble. So that happens because you've skipped a step. You know, you are supposed to add. I told you something about a repository. You're supposed to like add it. There's like a repository where all ROS is, so you add it to the universal one, and then only then will you be able to find it from there. So I know where your problem is. You did not add this stuff. So you currently have cleans. No. If you have cleans, then you have no be small person. No. If you have that's the newest. So far I've said Humble, I've said Raw, I've said Jazzy. There are different ROS from Ion to Firefall. Sorry, Foxy. Yeah, Foxy. There are different versions of ROS. So if you have Clit, it's fine. Don't delete it. As a matter of fact, you cannot install Humble. No, cannot. I don't like saying cannot. You can, but I mean, you should not. You should not install Humble. So somewhere you have no problem, basically. You can proceed to installing Gazebo ignition. I think this new version of Rust should be using Gazebo ignition and not Gazebo classic. So chat me up personally and I will send you what to do. Not sure if I've installed it. Is there a snippet to check the installation version? Yeah, there's how to check if your Rust, if you've installed Rust. There's how to check. That's for Chukwuebuka. Yes, so everybody, if you've, what step did I miss? I'm guessing this is the person. This is that's what I'm saying. For I know there's a compatibility, and this is for Samuel. I know there's a compatibility table for Rust and Gazebo. I clearly said Humble goes with Classic, Jazzy goes with Ignition. If you are using Clit, you cannot go with Classic because that's even below Ignition. So it has to be. There's Harmonic. Come on, just a minute. I just remember there's Harmonic, which Gazebo is for Clit. Ionic, wonderful Ionic. I haven't used this new version. I was there was this. It just came out and I've been reluctant. So you can see this is the new. This is the new Gazebo page. This is for Samuel. This is for Samuel. Now, I'm supposed to know how to navigate this page. This isn't the regular. Okay, doc. This isn't the regular documentation. Yeah, doc. 24 harmonic and ionic. I hear because like I was saying, you can't use classic. Usually, Rust permits you to like to be able to use the previous one, but not more than one step back. So you have ionic, you have harmonic, you have classic. You can use harmonic, but you can't use classic because that's like more than one step back. Then if you come to like 24, there's like fortress and there's harmonic, like one and then one step back. Like that's usually the whole idea. So I would say use harmonic because that has more support. And someone please send me a DM. Let me send this to you. Just send me a DM now. Just say Samuel. And I think app key is depreciated. Yes, that's the idea. And this is for Suleiman. When I say sudo apt key del, it's depreciates, like it's supposed to delete it. So you're not supposed to get any positive feedback from it. You're not supposed to get any positive feedback at all from it. So just proceed with the order with. Did you run all the command and get apt key depreciated? Well, I'll address a problem later. For now, there are people that have installed Rust and a lot of like 5 people.
I was supposed to copy the link or what?
What?
Just put the link on the terminal, or what am I supposed to do with the link?
What link?
The one you sent to me on WhatsApp.
What I sent to your WhatsApp is I sent you series of commands. You have Suleiman, yeah? You put it in your terminal. You know what? if you are, I mean, this is the first command I said you should send. This is the first command. This is the second command. This is the third command. So it's just simple copy and paste. Okay. For Samuel, this is yours. I don't know if it's only the installation. I don't know if it's only thing you're doing. I'm asking because for some reasons Gazebo seems slow when starting on my PC and sometimes freezes. I've already installed Harmonic. If you just install the first time Gazebo runs, it's terrible. The first time RViz run, it might not even run safe. I don't even know. I don't no, I know, but it's a long story. They have to who has played games like games on PCs and you see something like initializing shaders, because when you first run them, they have to like they're using this. You need to know how God, what do they call this technology? OpenGL. So it has to first build. That's the very first time you're opening it. It needs to do all of those. So like something when you open it, it doesn't have to like repeat that process again and again and again and again. So that's just how it works. That's why it's slow. Sometimes RViz will not even open. Very stubborn something. All right. So for those people that have only installed ROS, you've not installed Gazebo. You've installed only ROS 2. Let's try installing Gazebo. So we're on Ubuntu 22, right? We're installing Harmonic. Wait, hold on, come on. Recommended if using ROS to Humble. Okay, so Fortress. Call me Elvin, call me Bro, got all can do so, but eyes closed. Not really sure. Not really sure. I've installed it. ROS. Okay, good. Somebody has installed ROS. Now, if you have installed ROS, copy and paste the follow commands. Copy and paste the following commands. Yeah, it's going to process the trigger. Yeah, processing trigger. That's normal, standard procedure, documented schema. Okay, what's your error? What's your error? What's your error? All right, so do anybody have any error that is not in the errors I said I'll address? That is not in the errors I pinned on the group chat? Because like my log, I just refreshed my log, so I need to keep track of people again. Good. Proceed with the next command. Mine is showing this. G. What was the previous command? What was the previous command? Command. Okay, David, let me now. Oh, you're not seeing my terminal. My terminal has ROS already. I already have ROS set up. Okay, so David, let me go to David. I think David, I said you should message me. He has probably messaged me and I've missed it. Okay, bro. Hey, bro. Hey. Okay. Okay, this guy has Gazebo set up. Run this. Okay, sudo apt update and ampersand. Sudo apt update ampersand sudo apt sudo install call y. If conflicting values set for option sign key. This is debugging on the fly. I didn't budget for all this. Is anything being said on the group chats? David, okay, I'm handling David's case. David and Queen, they are having hard times. Yes, Suleiman.
Please, can you help me to send those commands to, like, on the call here? My WhatsApp is not on this Ubuntu. I'm unable to type it. Like, I cannot copy and paste from my phone.
Okay. Suleiman, yeah, which is the ones I sent to you about your key, your apt key depreciated. A bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You compare the documentation. All you can say is more. Whose case was I solving? C. So this is for Queen. Give me feedback. Niola, congratulations. You have Gazebo. I'm so happy right now. Okay, so someone has Ross and Gazebo. This is where we're going to be playing with our robots, as always. Big boy. Ross dep could not be found. You have the same issue as David. Okay, so good. I have 4 people that have that issue. Anything, if you have the same issue as David, that's number 4 issue. So 4 different calls to resolve that. This alone is enough for a topic on robotics. I think I'll teach you guys that too. Someone said he's waiting. Who is that? Sahid. Sahid is waiting. Sahid. Your issue is number 4 on the issues to debug. I deal with you. Okay, now let's install RViz. You guys can see my screen, right? For those people that have installed Harmonic, that have installed Gazebo, I'll just do the same thing. Let's do this thing. Is there a way to redo? Is there a way to redo that? That Gazebo runs somewhat okay, but it does not open up smoothly. I don't know. Whoever the person that asked this question, okay, Samuel is having issues with not as if he's having issues, but Gazebo sometimes at the touch. So tell me, still in the DM, what's the specifications of your laptop? You can't be using 4 gig or 8 gig and be dragging Gazebo's neck. You can't be harassing Gazebo like this when you're using a low RAM, or maybe you're using a. Do you have GPU? Sorry, we all laptops have GPUs, but like, are you running an NVIDIA GPU? Just give me the specs of your laptop. Let me know if this dragging is justified. Joe, this guy, you reserve the right to drag Gazebo. You reserve the right. 16 gig RAM, NVIDIA GTX 1050 i7 3.8 gigahertz. I don't even know how many core that is, but that should be far more than 8 cores. 160 gig. Yeah, you deserve the right to drag Gazebo. You deserve the right to drag Gazebo. I would fix that. The GTX means there is no ray tracing. There's no ray tracing means if your Gazebo is above classic, you might have issues. Right now, okay, you're using Harmonic. But even without ray tracing, you should have problem. You should not have problem. Just give me a moment. Unable to locate package. You are part of number 4 problem. if you cannot locate package, it's either because you didn't add, and if you did, you didn't add that stuff to the repository, and if you did it, then it's probably your keyring is the problem. So don't worry, we'll have another class where I'll explain that. So now, welcome to practical robotics. You are with issue number 4. So I would have to make another slide, like another whole trainings, like explain, not whole training, like another whole class to explain why these issues come up. We that are stuck at this level, we can quit the call or continue. Yeah, it's a long class, so we can quit the call. I think we can end the call now, Seth, because if you have this issue, you can leave. We've already installed Ross and Gazebo. I have like 5 people that have done that well. If you have Gazebo and it's being slow, don't worry, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. There are ways to work around that. There are ways to work around that. So I'm installing my own Gazebo now, if you are seeing my screen. Now, if you had any issues, see all the issues that I had today, I've seen all of them and I've solved all of them. So it's a case of it's just me on the call. So probably there are like 4 of me, then we can address it. But then it won't be good because I want everybody to benefit from everything. So the day I'm solving visualization, everybody is there when I solve it. I'll make a note on it. I'll explain how it works. I explain why it's important in robotics, because visualization is extremely important in robotics, and then every other thing too. So on the screen, I have Gazebo installed. I am going to run now. If I run Gazebo, it will not run. Actually, if I say Gazebo, it's going to tell me it cannot find it. Yeah, so I would run Ignition Fortress instead. Oh, Holy Father, it cannot find it either. So I have to. Okay, I can do ing Gazebo. Ah, yes. Boy, the boy good. Hey, you guys remember this now robots? There was I think in the first class I showed something similar, but yeah, run just a sample. Aborted. It was killed. Signal sent by TQ. Signal was killed. Okay. It's normal. Not like alarm. If it kills it again, then there's a problem. Okay. Anyways, it's installed. The next thing to do is to try and solve the reason why it's killing it. So let me stop sharing here, and the class is long enough. I'll share here. Can I clarify why I chose Fortress? I explained before, and Samuel explained, not Samuel, he said, he made a comment and he asked, he's using a different version of ROS, the most recent one, that which Gazebo should he use? Now, the same way Gazebo is tied, the same way ROS is tied to the operating system. If you're on 22, you use Homebrew. If you're on 24, you use Jammy. That's the same way ROS is tied to the Gazebo you would use. If you're on 22, you can use Classic and Ignition. If you're on Humble, can use Classic, you can use Ignition, you can use Fortress. I think there are two that you can use. But basically, Fortress is the best option for Humble, right? You can use, I think you can also use Ignition, but there's a table for it. So that's what they tell you. If you try and use a non-recommended Gazebo with the ROS that you're using, it would work, but you would have issues, a lot of compatibility issues. And in the next class, we would look at one of those major problems when we try and solve some of all these issues we all have. So, yeah, basically, that's for those with Mac, I think we'll do you in this coming week. We'll find a way around this stuff, so nobody will be left out. And I explained this already. I spoke about this. Now you see the amount of issues you faced today. Write a post on it on LinkedIn and explain your issues and how you solved it and what got you stuck. You would get like a lot of like engagement. People see it and be like, oh, this is what you attempted to do. Mind you, this is not what a beginner tries to do, because this is something that they do for you and then they give it to you to learn the basics of robotics, how to, the conventional things you see around. But now I want to actually, the aim of this whole Aurora training is to like build like the very best, and you would have to start all this. When you get into the main robotics, it's not even going to be that stressful as us. So a win is a win. All right, I will still remain your very own instructor, Bakel, and thank you guys for turning up for me and coming. So we'll continue on the group chat, okay?